topics and opinions expressed in the following show are solely those of the host and their guests and not those of W4CY Radio, its employees, or affiliates. We make no recommendations or endorsements for radio show programs, services, or products mentioned on air or on our web. No liability, explicit or implied, shall be extended to W4CY Radio or its employees or affiliates. Any questions or comments should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for choosing W4CY Radio.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Real Estate Dreams and Beyond. We're on every Monday at 3 o'clock, and you can download the app at W4CY Talk. I am so excited to introduce our show today, which is Taking Care of Business. We have some special guests on today, a commercial real estate agent, Virginia Standish. We also have owner, CEO of America's Mortgage, I'm sorry about that, Christian Penner. And we have Lucia Corral, which is with us every week from Elsie's Credit Solutions. So welcome, everybody. I'm so glad you're here today.
Hello. Thank you for having us on.
You're welcome. So taking care of business, we're just going to kind of jump right into it. Christian is going to be talking to us today about getting a commercial loan and the types that are available. And Virginia has a premier property that's commercial. It has all kinds of, capabilities, right, Virginia?
Yes.
Located.
Very interesting.
Well, Virginia, why don't you just start off and tell us a little bit about how long you've been doing real estate and kind of like what you specialize in.
Okay, I got my start actually in the real estate in the construction business, doing project management, helping people put together their build out their shells. And then I was doing so much work in that. In 2017, I said, let me just go ahead and get my real estate license. So it's been very interesting. I started in residential, but I kept getting requests to do commercial properties. So I do a bit of residential and land. I do both, which most realtors do not do.
Very nice.
What's your saying, Donna? Buy land.
Because they're not making it anymore. That's
They're
right.
not making more.
No.
That's been around for a long time.
Yes. Now, an interesting comment was made at one of the local commercial realtors meetings last month, and everyone says location, location, location. But Bob Carr, who's been around a long time, made an interesting comment. He said it is really timing. And that is so applicable to these two properties that I am presenting today. So would you like me to start on the properties now?
Well, can we get those live, Juan and Chuck?
Yes.
So let's show the property. What a location, huh?
Spectacular.
Wow.
North end of the lake.
And what's the total acreage on this, Virginia?
Pardon?
What's the total acreage?
The total acreage on both parcels combined is 5.4 acres. That is the shot of the restaurant.
Wow.
On the separate parcel. And again, Lake Okeechobee is just to the south of all this.
Now, does this restaurant go with it?
It can be purchased separately or together. So I will break down both parcels for you.
Okay, tell us about it. I'm excited.
Okay. So this is one of those rare opportunities. You know, we always hear people saying, oh, I wish I had got in before everything took off. So this is about timing. And these two parcels, we'll start with the restaurant. This is a working turnkey restaurant. There is a liquor license that the owner will transfer. This is
oh my gosh.
Do you want me to get into dollar amounts here?
Yeah, let's talk. Talk the business.
So This restaurant is for sale at 1.2 million. And as you can see, the wide shot, there's Lake Okeechobee. So you're going to have all those people that are going to the lake right down the road from you. The owner has had the business for a while and he's ready to retire. Now, so that separate parcel, just the restaurant going towards the west, it's a long, narrow piece. That again is 1.2. You could buy
And
this.
how much land does that sit on, Virginia?
That is sitting on just a little bit over 1 acre.
Okay.
Okay, that is the first piece on that. And the next
Great video. I love it. Okay, let's go off the screen.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so the second parcel, which I think there's a second video, will show it from a different angle. The second parcel was the green space that you saw, and that is approximately over 4 acres. And you're probably not going to believe this price. It is only $800,000 for those 4 acres. Now, what is really spectacular about this price, and I haven't mentioned it yet, is this is future land use, commercial mixed use, which is unheard of. This is Okeechobee County. Anyone interested can call Okeechobee County. The uses on this are commercial light and commercial heavy. And what's really spectacular, now this is looking from the north
view. Oh my gosh.
Looking towards the lake. Okay, and you have two
beautiful
entrances to this property, obviously from the eastern side and then from the southern side of the property from the lake. The gas station is not included. It's all the green space and the restaurant that you see. What is really unusual in a commercial people are getting more proactive with commercial projects and allowing mixed use. So what this means is what this means, that's a separate area I have. What this means is that you can have businesses on this property. You can have a school, you can have a medical facility, you can have a hotel retail, but you can have attached residences for staff and employees. They do not want single family homes on this property. This is strictly to get business in the area. So $800,000 for 4 acres, commercial mixed use. You can have the business. I have the listing has the documents in it. The restaurant again can be purchased separately, but basically you're looking at $2 million for everything. So 1.2 and 8. And if you buy the restaurant, it basically can generate income to pay for the other parcel.
What do you know the cap rate on that restaurant?
We are not. That's a non-disclosure item. So that we can, yes, we cannot discuss that. That is a non-disclosure requirement. But what I can tell you, and a little bit about Okeechobee County, because what I'm finding is that most people don't realize, we realize it because we're in real estate all day long along the east coast of Florida, and we do real estate throughout the state of Florida, as you know, you do, I do, we're all over the state. What's going on is that everything is filling in on the east coast and headed west. So Okeechobee County, which their primary occupations are education, health, agriculture, and recreation. You have Bass Pro building on the west side of the lake, building a huge resort. So nice. You're going to see the demographics and the influx of building coming in, and I expect prices will start rising in this area.
Well, thank you so much. So let's just roll that, and we'll come back to your other listing here in a little bit, if it's okay. But let's just roll that into a purchase, Christian, and I'll be your buyer. Okay. I've never been in a restaurant.
Right. So 2 things going on there. So one is an acquisition of existing restaurant, and the other is parcels of land. So is that subdividable, or is it come as one package kind of a deal? Like you had said originally, you said it could go both different ways.
So you have, first of all, you could, when you say it is 2 existing parcels already, you have the restaurant parcel, which is 1 acre, and you have the 4 acres. Now, what you choose to do with your site plan, you go to Okeechobee County and you approach them. Remember, this is future land use, commercial mixed use.
Do we have to buy both, or can we buy them separate?
You can buy them separate.
Okay, I don't have to buy both of them.
Right.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Okay. All right.
Deal for the restaurant, since it's existing and there's real estate and then there's an active business. So it's really two things going on there. So we can do a deal for somebody that wants to buy that particular property. We look at the existing business itself, look at it, do a 3-year look back, and then we do kind of a projection going forward on it based on, if they're going to leave it the way it is, or maybe there's going to be some improvements, whatever that may be, right? So that's one thing to do. And then depending on what we want to do with the other parcel, is we would need to do an acquisition cost. Ideally would work out better if we did an acquisition with kind of a plan of possibilities of what we wanted to do with the land, and I could put together more of a package deal with the cost structure of the land and give them the land equity cost, and then whatever it is they want to build, whatever that is.
Now,
it really depends on what that is that they want to do,
Whenever, I'm just going to pretend I know nothing here, okay? But whenever you're getting ready to qualify for a mortgage and you're trying to open a business and it's commercial, what is typically the lender looking for as someone who's well qualified?
So there's two ways to look at it, right? So if you're opening a brand new business, that would be different than buying an existing one. So, or if you had a business itself and you were expanding, that's a whole different avenue too. So we will look at the new business. We have a couple of lenders we work with. We also work with the SBA. So depending on that person's situation, the SBA 10% down, maybe the cheapest, the best rates. We have to look at that. Depends on their credit and then the business. And what we do is we put together a 3-year projection of whatever that business is, and we use that to qualify whatever we're doing, right? So that's a new business model that we look at, and we actually have 3 of those in process right now with new clients of mine. I have one that's a new business. He's building a retail store. It's actually down in Boynton Beach. We bought a parcel of land. And now we're actually supposed to close this week, at the end of this week, and he's building a retail store. And then as well as we're doing a warehouse purchase for another lady that's expanding her business. She does like a stage dance studio, and she's expanding her business. We're buying like a $2 million warehouse to expand her business. So we did a combination of existing and projection. The other deal we did was new construction. So he's actually doing a new construction, what's our prefab stuff. So new construction on that, but booked pretty fast. So we did a construction loan with a few draws on that. And then we did the land purchase first, and then we're going to do the construction loan. And the total business cost is going to be somewhere maybe around $3 million for all of it all in one. So we can, those two examples were a brand new business, but he already had a business. He was coming down from another state. He had a business there that he's also going to start here, a similar business that he had there. Another one was an expansion. So it really depends on what it is you want to do. We can look at both avenues there. We qualified him because he was he's going to be the guarantor of the deal. So in his particular case, we did 2 years, actually we did 3 years tax returns. That was prior business. We qualified him, guarantee the payments, even though it was in the business, because the business really wasn't existing yet. We did a projection. Okay. The other one, we kind of did a combination because she was expanding. So we were able to use some projections. We also look at the history. So in either one of those cases, you really look at that individual strength of the person that's guaranteeing it, plus the business model. So it's different. There's no other than knowing that we need tax returns, we need this kind of a business plan, a cost structure to whatever we're going to do, and a projection of whatever that increments or sales, and we kind of back it in and shop it out. I have access, honestly, to about 10,000 different commercial lenders across the country. I'm doing projects up in Maine. We're doing 3 brand new constructions. We're doing townhome kind of communities, attached home communities. 3 different projects that are running about $25 million, and we're doing some in Delaware. We're doing some in Pennsylvania, and then here. So it's a pretty cool little thing. It was new for us. We opened up a commercial division in our company last year. We were doing a lot of residential. So I'm kind of like you, Virginia, where I kind of always did residential for 25 years, and then just kind of recently within the last 12 to 14 months, 15, 16 months or so, we started really doing more commercial and into that space because there's been a really good need for that. So, so we can do like the construction commercial loans. We can do, we can do SBA loans. There's two types of SBA loans: the SBA 7 and then there's SBA 504. We can do the mezzanine commercial loans, bridge loans if you need that. So, and also we can do if someone wanted to buy that. Let's just say it was approved for residential, let's just say, or residential type of community and something like that. We can actually work with developers right now where we can do spec lending for commercial properties. We can do, if it's 2 to 25 units, we can go up to about $7.5 million. We can actually do, if it's more than that, maybe 10 tract homes, we can give them a line of credit of $10 million that they can use over and over as they build some tract homes, and then as they build a relationship with us, we can kind of keep that ongoing. So two different things there. You're building as a developer, you're building you're commercially building, but you're selling them residential. So we can help on that level too. So did I kind of answer your question?
That was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Lots of options.
Yeah.
So, I emailed you the other day, and this was a specific client of mine, right, that has owned a floral business for years, does weddings out the gazoo, is ready to open her own, event center doing weddings. Going to do some agriculture along with it. So we've been looking, and we ran across 31 acres that we think that we can do this with. A great buy, by the way, Virginia, a little under
nice.
700,000, right?
How much?
In Martin County.
Wow, nice.
Really good. So if she's going to purchase land and then have to clear and build, what type of financing, what's her best way to go with that?
So the best idea is, so you have the land, is really get together what the plans are of what she wants to do, right? So
Yes.
if we can put that together along with the land purchase and build it all into one package deal, it'd be a better situation. And we kind of shop that whole deal out based on, she's running the business with the flower shop. It's not going to have anything to do with this venue other than maybe supplying flowers to the venue, right? They're not going to combine those businesses together with two separate businesses.
No, she's going to not be doing the flower shop anymore.
Oh, okay. So
she's
just kind of,
because she does literally at the flower shop 4 weddings a weekend almost now.
oh God, wow.
Wow.
So we would sit down and have her put together a budget of the new business model, a 3-year projection of it. And the only way we really take that is kind of through the SBA construction, because she doesn't have any history. So that would be the only way we could really launch off that program.
Yes.
So,
You're
that
off.
would be how it would work, is figure out, okay, what is it going to cost to build whatever venue she wants, the cost of the land, cost of the construction of it, whether it's out of the ground, full construction, or prefab, whatever that is. We'll figure that out with a budget, and then I would just kind of shop it out with some of the banks I know. Some of the banks I've built some good relationships with. I'd probably start with a few of those that are local, and depending on what they say, we have a portal we submit it to, and we get lenders that come back with options if they if they want to do the deal, or give us an opportunity to talk with them about it more in detail. And then we can decide what are the best terms, rates, and programs for her. And that's kind of how we do it. So for the first steps on that deal would be for her to put together a business model and a projection of income of what she thinks it's going to be over the next 3 years. So then we can back that into this deal to make sure that she can debt service it, right?
Yes.
With what she's projecting, and as well as coming out with the funds, right, to fund it. So wherever those funds are coming from, we've got to talk about whatever that, whatever that is she's getting.
What that number is.
Yeah, or where those funds are coming from. If she's selling her flower shop or shutting down, whatever that is, and she's got the funds that she's going to be allocating to this, we'll have to sit down and kind of discuss that as well.
Okay. So, what is the organization's name that, I don't believe it's SBA, but, they'll do like agricultural loans and,
Well, the USDA? You mean?
USDA. Yeah. If anybody's out there and you're thinking about opening a business and you need a business plan, most definitely. And that site has a great outline for you if you go on there to build your own business plan. And a lot of people think, well, I'm going to make so much money, but it has to be a lot more involved than that. You've really got to know your sourcing, and you have to have a budget and projections. And then also, I feel like, maybe I'm wrong, Christian, but prior experience in the same business definitely is a more favorable lend than somebody who's never had any, right? In the
That's
business.
a play, so depending on what we're trying to do, we do, we do look at that, and it's looked at by the investor too, depending on what the situation. Maybe, maybe the loan to value gets adjusted if it's a non-SBA or something like that. But we'd have to kind of look at it on a case by case basis, and that's kind of how those deals work. It's always like everything's completely different, right? Every business model, every situation. It seems like so.
Every real estate deal.
Everything. So we just have to look at it from that person's personal situation and what they're trying to do, and formulate a business plan around it. And that resource you had mentioned is a great resource. I have some stuff if anyone wanted, like some business models that we've put together, some spreadsheets and some ideas of how to structure the business and the cash flows and stuff like that. So, but that's, like you said, it's a good resource for sure.
Christian, could you let everybody know where they can get a hold of you at?
Yes, so americasmortgagesolutions.com is our website. You can go there and check out more about us. You can contact us. The main numbers for our company, 561-316-6800. You can Google my name, Christian Penner. I have a lot of content out there, videos. You go to my YouTube channel, Christian Penner. I've got videos for, we're doing some, I'm part of the American Dream TV. So we do TV shows surrounded around real estate and businesses, local entrepreneur businesses, and we showcase them on the show. And we help those businesses expand and grow. But yeah, so just, any one of those options, you can contact us. If you want to email me, it's themortgageteam@christianpenner.com. And that'll get over to me as well. So appreciate it.
We will. Do we have, Jeff, the other property of Virginia's available? Was one in Loxahatchee?
The Loxahatchee Groves. Yes.
Well, while we're waiting on that, I'm going to talk to you about one of my commercial listings that just came back on the market. Actually, it was on the cover of Times Magazine at the end of the year. And as you all know, on the West Coast, we had a horrific hurricane. And this property sits in Matlacha, which is just a little bit away from Cape Coral, and pretty much where this storm came barreling through. This is where the bridge went out. Many businesses were lost into the bay, just completely gone, that had been there for years. This property is my brother's, and it made it through the storm. Governor DeSantis did his broadcast for the emergency center in front of it. But there's only one small portion of the structure that is really sound, according to engineers. And what we just found out is that, now let me explain to you that when you stand in this property and you do a 360, all you see is water. It's in front of you, it's behind you, it has shoreline, right? So now what we're able to do is build a seawall because they're putting in a new road, and a seawall will protect the new road, and the bridge won't go out again if, a storm were to come through. So we had it under contract. His financing fell through. And then we decided that we were going to go ahead and do the cleanup on the property. We're going to leave the one small structure standing because if someone wants to build onto that, make it a restaurant or whatever it is, you're not going to have to go to new code guidelines because it's existing. It will give you a starting place. And then we're going to put that seawall in. And once that seawall is put in, instead of this being 0.42, we're going to be looking at more like 0.7 of usage for the land. So it's really extraordinary. It is, I think it's $1 million view. It's just going to take the right person coming along who knows. But, basically you can just walk to the back of your property and throw your kayak in. There's a dock back there. Manatees swim around all the time. It is a very active place for wildlife over there on the bay. So it's listed on Crexy as well as a commercial listing at 4195 Pine Island Road, Mount Lachey, Florida, and we have just repriced it at $819,000. So give me a call at 561-685-6663. I'm Donna Campbell with Coldwell Banker. All right. Do we have that slide yet?
So I already have the 2 slides.
Okay, let's go into market stats. How's that?
All right.
Dun, dun, dun. So, you got it, Jeff? On? Dun, dun, dun. Okay, well, luckily I know them, but I'd like to see them. There they are.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. We're going to start off with Florida. 26 billion there in total sales, but it's down 15%. And what I really want to focus on all these slides is the median sale price. So in Florida, that's all of Florida, it's $405,000. So can you get a home cheaper than that still? Yes, you can. But the median sales price for Florida is $405,000. Now we're going to go to the next slide, and 1.6 billion in volume. So on the next slide, where'd you go? So I don't know if Broward's coming up or Palm Beach County, but that's Florida. Can you click through to the next one? Well, I'll just go through the different price points. So in Palm Beach County, our average price point is $565,000. We have Broward County at $10,000 below that. Martin County is at $10,000 higher than that. And then we go up to Port St. Lucie and we're looking at, it's $565 in Broward and $575 in Palm Beach. So that's the middle median number that you're looking at there. You also can see that in Broward County, their total volume, I don't know if you recall what we were seeing earlier. Let's slow down there, Flicker. $978 million. And again, you're seeing the numbers go down, but you're seeing the inventory go up. And you're going to see that across the board, no matter where we're looking. Now, if you go to the next slide, so we're going for $565 in Broward County, and then Port St. Lucie is $375,000. It's a ton of great deals in Port St. Lucie for someone who's just starting out that wants to spend in the 300s. My daughter just closed on a house up there not too long ago, $310,000, a 3-2 concrete block, put a new roof on it, got a seller credit for $15,000. Mom gave her another $2,000, and we called it a day. So If you're looking to spend in that price point, that's actually a very good option for you. Their inventory is also up 141%, and they did 222 million in volume. All right, the next screen. Palm Beach County, $575,000. Our volume is 1.3 billion dollars. So we make up almost a tenth of the state, or a little, maybe 11% of this. I don't know. Yeah, about 10% of the total volume, I guess, of the state. Active inventory here is also up. We're looking at, triple digits on that. So that's where it's at. Closed sales are down. I'm not really sure what everybody else is feeling out in the market, but I have definitely had a couple of cancellations that I'm not used to this year. But I just think that it takes a little longer to sell for sure than it did last year. All right, so that's that. Now, in talking about taking care of business, I'm going to go over to Lucia Corral. And as you all know, Lucia has a credit solutions business. She runs a credit academy. She fixes people's credit. But not only does she fix it, she teaches them how to do it so they're not just out there messing it up again. And from that, she's actually had a couple of people that have went on and opened up their own credit solution businesses. And since we were talking today about taking care of business, I thought it'd be great to hear her story. And looky there, there's a little slide from her. Start your credit repair business today. So talk to us about that, Lucia.
Hello, everybody. My name is Lucia Corral, and I am the owner of Elsie's Credit Solutions. I got started in the credit repair industry back in 2019. I was a single mother of 4, and I was only looking to fix my credit when I initially got into credit repair. And I had left a 16-year relationship with the father of my children. I was now a single mother of 4. I couldn't get into an apartment for my own family. I couldn't get a reliable vehicle for my kids to move around in. And so I started taking courses on how to fix my own credit. So once I started completing those courses, I started working on my own profile, working on a couple of family members, and the results that I was obtaining were absolutely amazing in just the first couple of rounds that I was sending off. So then it's like a light bulb switched off, and it's like, I need to help others that are in my position who think that the hole has been dug so deep that they can't get out of it, and that they can never restore their bad credit, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that you do not have to deal with bad credit for, 7 to 10 years. There's definitely something that can be done about it. After being in the industry for about 3.5, we decided to bring the ladder back down and teach others who, maybe are single parents or want to work from home to generate some income, how to be successful in the credit repair industry. So then we started Credit Academy 411. Credit Academy 411 teaches others who maybe want to start in the industry how to get started from A to Z. We'll show you how to structure your business. We'll show you how to properly run it and how to obtain some really great results, because credit repair is an industry where we're all about results, right? Those results, those numbers matter. Right. So then we also help other existing credit repair owners who probably are not getting the desired results for their clients, and they want to learn our techniques. And then we do an advanced consumer law course, which is what we use when it comes to disputing derogatory items. And everybody asks me, Lucia, what kind of items can be eliminated? Late payments, collections, charge-offs, repos. What we use is consumer law tactics, and what we do is we hold the bureaus accountable for how that information is being reported. And I'm not sure, Christopher, if you can agree to this, but a lot of credit reports have errors, and 80% of them do. And so that is what we use to help gain eliminations on these type of derogatory items, is that the information must be 100% accurate. So the Academy has been for about 8 months going, and it's doing absolutely amazing. We've had more than 100 members come through our course. And we also decided to start a third company. So we have 3 businesses that revolve entirely around credit. Our third business, we actually partnered with other credit repair owners who are already in the industry. They're doing great, but they need help with the back office and they need help getting results. So we have 25 plus other companies that outsource the work to us because they love the results that we get for our clients. So we're super excited on this credit repair journey that we have been on. And before I started in the credit repair industry, I was a server for 8 years, right? So I had no degree, no prior experience. So if I can do it, anybody can do it.
That's awesome.
That's a great story. I love that.
Thank you.
I have a question for you. Do you also build, say, somebody, what I've come across doing a lot of these commercial stuff, people starting their businesses and they want to build, say, business credit and stuff like that because it's a different animal than
It's a different ball game.
What's that?
It's a different ball game.
Yeah, totally. I didn't even realize that until I got into it. It's a different scoring system. They look at different things. And when I started my company, I actually kind of went through some of those steps to build the business credit part, which had, obviously had nothing to do with my personal credit. And now you qualify under, there's like a business number or something, or some sort of a way they look at it. Do you know more details around that, or you just do?
Yeah, so business credit and personal credit is definitely 2 different categories. And it's like you said, some things that are used to categorize your score in personal is not the same as in your business credit. So for sure, I know like credit utilization. Mm-hmm. Credit utilization does not exist in the business in the business credit scoring world, right? So unlike your personal, your utilization is the second biggest factor when it comes to that. But we haven't really dug too much into the business credit side of it, but we have some great connections that may be able to assist any of your clients moving forward.
Cool. Awesome. A question you said about the misinformation on credit reports. It's something we deal with every single day. And it drives us crazy. And the good thing, is I don't know if you heard recently, they've eliminated the medical collections from being added to your credit report. So those were such a nightmare for us because they just pop up out of nowhere and they're 10 years old and no one knows where they came from. And, it's like, right. Oh my gosh, who do I even call? Right. So that was always a challenge for us. Thankfully, that's gone, so that's been a positive in the credit world. And, there's some things coming in. So January this year, I don't know if you were part of this, but there was an announcement from our credit vendor. We use a company called Certified Credit, and the whole credit industry itself, consumer credit, they were supposed to be moving to a new model, right?
Cycle 10?
I don't know what it was called, but, our credit report costs went from on average of, maybe like 20, I think it was like $25 for a joint credit report to 75, right? Whether it's a single or a joint. And they were supposed to go to a different modeling system from 3 bureaus to 2, and then have 4 scores for each, which would include like a consumer score and a something score, but nothing ever came out about that. Do you know anything about that?
So I know that there's different new scoring modules constantly being released, right? The most familiar one is going to be FICO 8. Well, a lot of people don't know that there's already a FICO 9 and a FICO 10, which completely categorizes everything so differently than the others, which means there's going to be definitely a fluctuation in score. But I think it depends on the lending company or the company itself, what scoring module they use, whether they even see those changes within their company.
So what's the difference between a FICO 8, 9, and 10?
Just the way that it's calculated. I don't have the exact details on the difference on the calculation.
But score based on credit cards, cars, and mortgages, maybe? or something like
Yeah,
that?
so usually the biggest difference is, you know, some are going to have a bigger effect on how much credit card utilization affects you. Some are going to have a different effect on how late a late payment affect you. A late payment can affect you on one scoring module, let's say 50 points, but yet on the other it only affected you 25, and on the third it affected you 75 points, right? So what it is they're all calculated slightly different, which really makes those score fluctuate.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. And it drives me crazy, like, so the three credit bureaus, whatever they go, I mean, we rely our business so much on those, but yet
On
we have
credit.
no idea how it's calculated except for our guessing of, utilization, like you said, or obviously keep it good, and obviously everyone knows recently where, the FHFA policy, based on the current administration's policy, are coming out with, if you have a higher credit score, you actually have a worse, you get hit with a more of a fee than a lower credit score. It's like the higher credit score people are paying for the lower credit score people, which is driving us kind of crazy. But I have a whole thing we did on that piece, but that model. I mean,
I have a question for Lucia. I recently had a customer who they said, during COVID, a lot of people had difficult times, and they went to, they worked out payment agreements. So I had a customer say, I worked out this payment agreement, I paid it off, but my credit report shows, and I may not be using the right term, so I apologize. I think it said that either the account was written off or there's some other term I've heard used. Is this someone that should reach out to a credit company and ask for help with their credit report?
Absolutely. So anything derogatory can definitely be disputed directly by, the person being affected. There's nothing that I am doing that you cannot do yourself. But if you don't have the time or the knowledge, you can definitely reach out to a specialist. You guys can reach me at 479-573-6206. I'm more than happy to do a free credit analysis and consultation to see, how that information is reported and what we can do for you, and maybe what I can recommend you to do on your end. But yes, definitely reaching out to a specialist is always going to be the best recommendation.
awesome.
Why do they have to have all these different 8, 9s, and 10s and FICO scores? I'm like looking at this. It's crazy.
Yeah, I don't understand why they continue to just make more. And here's the thing, the most common FICO score is going to be a FICO 8, right? That's what you're going to see usually common, like on a bunch of the applications, you're going to see a FICO 8. That's not even the FICO score that's being pulled, or the scoring module that's being used for like a mortgage. If you're applying for a mortgage, you're going to be using a FICO 5, 4, or 2, which is completely different than your FICO 8. And some don't understand that your FICO 8 can be 30 to 80 points difference than your FICO 5, 4, 2. So there's just, it's interesting. The credit world is interesting. It's always evolving. It's always growing. It's always changing.
Yeah.
It sure is. Christian, how long have you been in the business?
Since 1997. So I graduated from the University of Florida with a finance and a real estate degree. And then right after that, I ended up actually getting a real estate degree, but then, and I went right into the finance world. So I had I always stayed in the best in both worlds, and just so I can be better at my craft, and understanding, all sides of every deal and all angles, So I think that's what helps me be better. And my team, when I train them and talk with them, is because we understand, what you go through every day on a deal. We understand the negotiate contract. We understand, dealing with that piece, as well as trying to, and in our world, there's so many people that touch the file and are involved. It drives everyone crazy. So we try to simplify that as best as we can with our, we do weekly, daily updates and throughout our process to over the years, what I've learned, over that time frame, there's industry, obviously the markets have changed so many times. I've seen, I got in the business, I think the interest rates were, I remember I actually did a project with this one builder I'm still friends with. We did a project, and I think I was doing FHA loans and 8 3/4, 9%, something like that. This was back in the
Nobody remembers that now, right?
No one remembers that, and we went through cycles, luckily, up until, just recently, this year, we've been in the, under 4%, for almost a decade, you would say, 4 or 5%, and which has been really great for all of us. So hopefully this inflation is, keep in mind this number that's coming out in a couple days, the CPI number that's coming out. Hopefully the readings will come in. Will the inflation rates be lower because it's based on shelter costs? All those numbers are coming out. So we may see an interest rate drop here, hopefully maybe in the next couple days. So keep your eyes out for the new CPI numbers that are coming out. That may be a good opportunity for your clients to lock in something.
That would be wonderful.
Yeah. So
Virginia, do you want to share? We've got about 4 minutes left. You got a minute pitch on another property?
Okay, I didn't know if they were going to show the screenshot. Yes, so I previously told you about the 4825 US Highway 1 in Okeechobee County. Now we're going to Palm Beach County, and it's again land, and it's ag residential. And what this means is it's 2 parcels, 9.99 acres each. One's at 2.5 million, the other is at 3.7. The difference being one's land. These are on Okeechobee Boulevard, 14375 and 14301 Okeechobee Boulevard. I'm happy to show it anytime. Give me a call. I'm with Caldwell Banker Realty, and my number is 561-308-6913. Do I still have more time?
Yeah.
I don't know. Donna's screen froze.
I'm
There
back.
she is.
Yes. Also, I have one other commercial listing. It's located pretty much right behind the Okeechobee Steakhouse in Westgate. It's 2818, 2814, 2810 Westgate and 2809 Nokomis. The CRA from Westgate would ideally love to see a community workspace with living quarters up above. There's a great example of that at the Hive out in Wellington. Not the living up above, but there was one done down in Lake Worth as well. So it could also be townhouses. There's a multitude of usage types that could be done there. It's listed at 1.25. If you would like to know anything about that.
is that just land there now, did you say?
Yes, land.
And that's a hot neighborhood, Donna. That is really so close to downtown West Palm Beach, so close to the beaches.
1 mile, I think 1.5 miles from the airport.
Right.
On that same road, you see that they've just built a brand new Votech school. They just added another community workspace on Cherry Street behind the election center is being built for Palm Beach County. So a lot of activity. And what they're really trying to do is get away from like the automotive shops and more industrial type business. So not a lot of land in West Palm Beach. So if you are interested in that, let me know. Also, I have a listing at Ibis. That is a premier country club. It is located on the 12th hole of the Tradition Golf Course. It is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 1,800 square foot townhome, but it looks like a single family home. A beautiful lanai that opens up to the 12th green. Ibis is an equity membership club. It has 16 hardcourt tennis courts, many pools, several restaurants, 3 golf courses, and unlimited recreational activities. So we're kind of running out of time, everyone. I want to thank my guest, Christian Penner from America's Mortgage, broker and owner. Thank you so much, Christian. Virginia Standish, I've known you since I started real estate. Thank you so much for coming on to the show and sharing your property. And we're going to find a buyer for you. As always, Lucia Corral, my other Arkansas girl. Thank you so much for always being here with me. To my viewers that are out there, we really thank you for tuning in today. You can catch us next Monday at 3 o'clock, and we look forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much, and have a great day. Bye.
Have a good one, guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.